What's up, gamers? With Skyblock Scrubs. Another video that's not Skyblock. Next video will probably be Skyblock though, so yeah. But this one, we're going to be talking about Retro Bowl, which is the new hit game that everyone's playing, and it's actually really fun. And yeah, so we're just going to be telling you how to win every single game that you play in Retro Bowl. We're just going to give you tips. We're not really going to focus on like how to play, more just like advanced tips to help you win. So first of all, if we go to home and front office, we have salary cap, stadium, training facilities, rehab facilities, free agents, staff hires, and coordinators. So salary cap, you can increase that by either spending an absurd, and I mean an absurd amount of coach credits, or you can get pro and have 200 mil salary cap, which is plenty. If you need more than that, you just suck. And stadium increases fans. Training facility increases the rate that your players get XP. Rehab facility increases the rate that your players get their condition back. So coordinators, basically what they do is they give the rating to your players that are not your stars. So basically, offensive coordinator is pretty much useless because you almost never give it to players who aren't starred, you know? So offensive coordinators, I would not recommend spending much money on those, if any. And then defensive coordinators, those are important because you can't like choose who tackles who. So I would recommend getting a good defensive coordinator, and you don't need a good offensive coordinator at all. So free agents and staff hires, that's pretty explanatory. So moving on to roster. So this is where you can see all your players, and I'll just say what the best skills are for each position. So for quarterback, you have throw accuracy, arm strength, speed, and stamina. And the best one, in my opinion, is speed and arm strength. And the reason why is because quarterbacks, you can run with them. I'll explain how to later, and it's really good. And if the faster they are, it's like a running back. It's crack. Arm strength is good because that determines how far they can throw the ball. And this game's not like super realistic, so you can throw the ball like 60 yards. It's crazy. Throw accuracy really doesn't matter, to be honest, because your wide receivers will run to the ball. So even if it's off target a little bit, they can still catch it if your receivers are good. For running back, basically the best trait for running back is speed, strength, and stamina. Catching is really not that important. I've been using a running back with trash catching, and he catches every ball that's thrown to him anyways. And strength is how high of a chance they have of stiff arming. Speed is how fast they go, and stamina is how long they can keep that speed. So those three are all really important. And next up, we'll just go over tight end. I don't know if Gunnermont has a tight end, but okay, he does. So for tight end, these are your jack of all trades, so it's really good to just have all four be good. Well, obviously, you can't have like maxed out, but this one, all four matter. Wide receiver, mainly just catching, speed, and stamina. Strength doesn't really matter because most of the time when you pass it to them, they've already beat their man, so they don't have any tackles to break anyways. And offensive line, basically just blocking, like maybe strength, but basically just blocking. Speed and stamina don't matter at all. And defensive line, just tackling and maybe strength, and again, that's pretty much it. Defensive back, you're gonna want, this is another like all four, like jack of all trades, you're gonna want pretty much all four of them to be pretty high. And then kicker, pretty much only kick range really matters. Stamina, speed, and kick accuracy. I mean, kick accuracy can be good because basically what that does is it gives you like a bigger area where you can still hit the kick. So kick accuracy can be good, but if you're good at the game, kick range is the only one that matters. So that's basically it. I might have missed a position, but I'm pretty sure that's all of them. So moving on, we have basically like pro. If you upgrade to pro, it's $1. You should. It's not like per month or it doesn't go away. Like you get it forever. And basically, you can have a 12-man roster, and it increases your salary cap to 200 mil. And I think it is normally like 150 or 175 mil, something like that. You can turn weather on it, which is cool. You can edit teams and players, and you can do all sorts of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Okay, guys. So when you're on your roster and you click the football helmet in the bottom left, basically that brings up another page where you have all your guys, their condition, their stats, and salary, and all this jazz. So basically, at the bottom, rest all, boost morale, and boost condition. don't ever hit boost morale or boost condition. It barely does it. It's super expensive. It's just a terrible idea.
Okay, so rest all. If you click rest all, you see they're all sleeping. Then if you play a game, like right now, you're not going to have any good players in, just a bunch of crap sacks. But then all of your dudes will be max rested the next week after that. So you have to basically throw a game if you want to rest all, so I would not advise that.
Alright boys, so now back to the home screen. So basically just a few quick things. So fans, that gives you gold. So you see how there's like 3 yellow bars. If you have fans past the first yellow bar, it gives you 1 gold. Past the second, it gives you 2. And then I think if you have it max, it gives you 3 gold per game. That's per win. But if you're following these steps, that is also per game because you're going to win every single game. So as you win the games, you're going to have choices on like who to praise and whatnot. So with choices, you want to pick the morale boost almost every single time, unless the person is already exceptional, which is the bright yellow face with squinty eyes. That's the exceptional. So if they're already that, then don't do it because it won't improve their morale at all because they're already maxed. But otherwise, you should always improve their morale. Fans, like I said, give you gold. So unless you have it maxed, you should go for fans if possible. And then otherwise, just take like a coaching credit or something. But usually coaching credit is not the best option. And one other thing, sometimes you'll get an option for like team XP. It gives you like 50 XP per player, which sounds like a lot, but that's like less than half of a game. So it's really, unless your other choice sucks, like it's not really worth it to do that.
Alright boys, if you go to your front office and you see stadium, training facilities, and rehab facilities, so you want to evenly balance them. But if you have anything to prioritize rehab facilities. So your players are always at 100%. So that the next game they don't throw it because they're like doing bad and they're wheezing and crap. So you want to prioritize rehab, then stadium, then training. But try to balance them. Alright, so real quick boys. So if you want to like sweat super hard and you want to, you just want to grind through his max speed. So change your quarters to 1 minute. See how in the middle here you can go 1, 2, or 3 minutes. So if they're 1 minute, like your games will just breeze by and you'll clap cheeks. And if you want to get achievements, because early game achievements are pretty good, because if you go to 3 minute quarters, your games are insanely long, like way too long, but you can easily throw for a 300-yard game. And then you get the 100-yard, the 200-yard, and the 300-yard achievement, which is an easy, I think it's 3 gold, and you're kind of in desperate need of gold early game because it kind of sucks. So that's an easy way to do it. And another thing is for free agents, your first season, I would not try to pick any of these guys up. You need to prioritize stadium, training facilities, and rehab facilities. You do not want to try to buy a free agent your first season or your first year.
Alright boys, so now I'm not going to say like basic how to play. I'm just going to give a few advanced tips that help. So QB runs are really effective. Basically, the only time you should QB run is if the pass and the run isn't there. Then you just bail yourself out, get an easy 6 yards with QB run. That's why you need speed for your QB. To QB run, basically throw the ball backwards. So like, you know how you like drag back and lob it forwards? Well, you drag forward and lob it backwards, and the ball won't throw backwards, but instead your QB will actually run. And then you just act like he's a running back. Like that's how you control him once he's running. So also for 2-point conversions, first of all, always go for 2. There's literally no reason why you should ever go for an extra point, because you could literally get 50% of your 2-point conversions, and it's the same as getting all of your extra points. It's so much better to go for 2. And not only that, but I have a strat where you can get a 2-point conversion basically 100% of the time. All you do is you call a play, you make sure it looks something like the play he has on the screen, where you're running back, the blue line is like, it looks decent, you know, like there's not like 10 guys right on him. It really, like, even if there's 5 guys on him, he should be fine. Just make sure it's not like super crowded. Otherwise, you hike the ball, you don't hike it to him, like you don't press the blue circle, you hike it to the QB, you throw it, and then you throw it to the running back, and then you just dive forward, and it's an easy 2-point conversion every single time. So yeah, you can do that. Also with curl routes, so he has none of these, so try changing the play, see if you get one. Okay, yeah, so the guy in the middle, N.W, he has a curl route, so that's basically where he runs straight and then he comes back to the ball. If you throw it to them before they start cutting back to the ball, they'll keep going straight, and the defender plays them as if they're going to come back to the ball, so the defender plays under them. So if you throw it straight to them before they cut back, it's a wide open pass every single time. Easy touchdowns.
Let's try this. Oh, no one was even on him.
Yeah, see? So, like, you guys could see, it would have worked even if there was a guy on him, but they're so trash that they're not, because he's on easy mode for some stupid reason. Audibles and timeouts, you really don't need to call them unless it's for 2-point conversions, or, like, it's the end of the half or fourth quarter. And then, how to know when to pass and run. This is, like, basic for people who watch football, but if you don't, basically, if most of the guys, like, on this play, you would pass it, because if most of the guys are in the middle, you're going to want to pass. If most of them are on the outside, you want to run. And, yeah. And then, just for context, kickers got legs, so you can kick, like, 70-yard field goals in this game pretty easily if you have max kicking range. So just know it's not like real life. So, like, you can kick a field goal from 70 yards and make it. You can do a bullet pass or, like, a high point pass. Basically, if you drag it back and while the ball's in the air after you throw it, if you tap the screen while it's in the air, you change it between bullet and high point, and by default it goes bullet. So if you want to throw a bullet, you don't need to do anything. If you want to throw a high point, you have to tap it once. So basically, the only real time where this comes in handy is if the defender's playing, like, behind them, then you throw a high point, and if they're playing above them, you just don't hit anything. So most of the time, you don't need to hit anything. But yeah, it's a pretty specific thing. And then for dodging, like when you hand it off or use your quarterback to run, or even with wide receivers sometimes. See, he just did the 2-point conversion. That's what I was talking about earlier.
Easy collapse.
So yeah, for dodging, you just swipe side to side, and then you can dive by just moving forward, and then you can do a back dodge by moving backward. That's the one everyone sleeps on. I wouldn't say it's, like, really overpowered. It's just about as good as any of the other ones, but it is useful sometimes. Like, sometimes you have a guy and you're, like, on the sideline, and someone's, like, coming from the
Trip that guy.
someone's coming from the middle of the field to, like, tackle you and crap, and then you do a back dodge and they fly by, and then you keep running. So that one can be good. And dodging, like, when you dodge side to side, it slows you down. So a lot of people don't realize this, but, like, as you can see it with this replay, he's dodging, and you can clearly see that it slows him down. So if you have some guy beat barely, a lot of times people will, like, get kind of panicky and see that the guy's right on their tail, so they'll try to dodge. That's not a good strat. Just keep running forward. Don't press anything. If he gets tackled, sucks to suck.
If you see a play where it's just an arrow, like, look at MW and every guy except for BJ. Every guy except for him has a straight arrow, so they're just going to keep running that way, so you can completely just bomb it. Like, watch this. That goes way farther. The other guy stopped way back there, so try to target the plays or the routes that just have a straight arrow, because it's way easier to just get massive yardage. Bruh.
Oh man, that's the only time where the 2-point conversion play doesn't work. It's when you get a freaking low battery right in the middle of it.
All the time, definitely.
Yeah. Bombed it, yeah.
So yeah, you just kind of. This is why fast running backs are good. You can just, like, he easily outran all those freaking slow linebackers and defensive backs. So. So yeah.
Too easy.
Yeah, fast running, just speed for running backs and wide receivers is insanely good. Like Pittsburgh, bro, you didn't stand a chance, bro.